Soul Fire Ascension with Raven and Jessamy. Raven is an aura past life regression and clinical hypnotherapist, a quantum galactic Akashic reader, raw Reiki angelic alchemy healing practitioner. For questions or booking sessions, you can message her at ravenshealingarts.com or on Facebook as Ravens Healing Art. Jessamy is a psychic medium, shadow Reiki practitioner, tarot reader, paranormal investigator. For questions or session bookings, you can message her at thesacredshadowfw@gmail.com or on Facebook as Jessamy Green. You can also listen to Soul Fire Ascension on Spotify. Please like, subscribe, and share, and we hope you enjoy the show. Greetings. Welcome to another episode of Soul Fire Ascension with Raven and Jessamy. I am Raven, and
I'm Jessamy. Hello, everyone. It's wonderful to see you.
it is. And we would like to thank our audience for being here as well. And we have the fabulous LaToya, Voluvia, Sister Voluvia. We're going to play LaToya's intro, but LaToya is way more than this little intro, I'm telling you. But we will play it anyway. Fire Ascension welcomes LaToya Scott. Her intention is to nurture souls to blossom, shine, and radiate their beauty. As a handmade soap maker and healer, she invites you on a journey of transformation to heal and grow so that you may embody the sovereign, empowered, and beautiful soul essence you are. A beautiful divine spark of source love light. At LaToya's website, Sophia's Garden, you can find her handmade soaps, body butters, and botanical bath products that are always handmade with love. Organic skin loving plant ingredients that cleanse and nourish the skin, along with sacred energy healing services that allow you to access the deepest level of healing for your soul. It is her knowing that you are the best healer, but oftentimes we are disconnected from the healers we all are. That's where LaToya comes in. In her sessions, she creates the sacred, safe, and loving environment of pure, infinite source love light for you to heal yourself through sacred energy work and connecting with your higher self. You can self-heal. She is looking forward to meeting you very soon on Soul Fire Ascension and sharing more about her sacred journey, how we are all doing the work to heal Mother Earth, and answering the questions you may have on your journey to awakening. Join us Friday, May 31st at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please share, like, and subscribe. If you happen to miss the live show, listen to the replay on Spotify or watch it on YouTube. Awesome.
Wonderful.
But LaToya, you're also what, an artist? Author?
Yes, I am. Greetings, everyone. I'm LaToya. Yes, I am currently in the creation phase of my first book, Heal the Roots. Very excited about when that will be available for all. Yes.
Wonderful.
You have
Wonderful.
a YouTube channel too?
I do. I have a YouTube channel, Light Warrior of Love, which is my podcast. So
Oh, my
super
goodness.
excited. Yes.
Very busy. This is wonderful.
Yes. Very busy helping others to remember the light warriors that we all are. That's the
Beautiful.
yeah.
I love it. I love it.
And you're also an aura practitioner. You're a raw Reiki practitioner, and you're an Akashic reader as well.
Absolutely. And so, with all of the sacred energy work that I do at sophiasgarden.online, you can find me for or past life regression, hypnosis therapy, as well as Raven mentioned, raw Reiki. I offer home clearings. I do offer one on one sound bath healing sessions as well as quantum galactic akashic readings, and I will soon be holding my first sacred circle coming. So we'll have some sacred group events. Yeah, that will be happening both in person as well as online. I have a deep passion for helping others to heal their organic darkness, and being able to balance their organic darkness with their love light. So,
That
super
is
excited.
wonderful. That's
Yeah.
So
wonderful.
where will this take place?
It will take place here in Texas in person. So
Okay.
I'm in Southeast Texas.
Wow.
Okay.
Yes, and so the
Wonderful.
in person will be in Southeast Texas, and then I will hold some space online as well for some group events.
That is fantastic. You are very, very busy, very productive. It's beautiful. That is so empowering and inspiring. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. It's my honor.
And your soaps, they look so beautiful. And they look like I don't want to use them. I just want to set them on a shelf and make them look pretty.
Right.
I get that all the time, Raven, where people will take because of all the love that I infuse in the soaps, as well as the scents. I get a lot of people who like to put them in their drawers and in
Yeah.
their closets
Yep.
because it just gives this feeling of, oh, oh, that feels good. It smells good. So yeah, I get that
Absolutely.
a lot.
And you're being the practitioner that you are and the soap maker, so you are very, very aware of the energies when you make something, when you create something. You have to be very aware of how you are feeling, the energies that you have personally, because that will go into your product as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's extremely important. I'm glad you brought that up. When you are a creator and people will use the products that you make, it is
Mhm.
extremely important that when creating those products, that your own energy, that you are aware of where you are in your journey and being able to ground, your energy. I really focus on when I'm creating, fully embodying the highest level of source love light that I am able to in this physical vessel. And so I embody that when I'm making soap as much as I embody when source love light, when I am, holding space for someone to heal through past life regression
Right.
or through any of the sacred practices. So yeah, I'm very intentional about ensuring that it is pure source love light, not mine,
Right.
that someone is receiving, but that they are receiving the energy purely of the divine. That's my intention. I'm just
Um,
a vessel holding the space, but it's
right.
not me. It is the divine.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. But, so many people are not aware that, like, how you feel as you do something ends up going into that. I will not cook for my family if I'm in a bad mood or anything like that, because then it has a potential of making others ill. And you can tell by your products that the photographs of your products, everything looks so beautiful, and it has its own little aura about it because that's what you have put into it. So you can tell that it's created with very, very good intention.
Yeah, that's my intention with all things is even with writing the book, it's
Mhm.
taken me a little bit of time to get the book written, because as I've gone through this process of writing the book, there have been deeper levels of healing that I have myself needed to experience and to
Mhm.
have, and to move through in order for me to be able to bring this book and birth it,
Right.
for me to
Yeah.
fully birth the book. So I believe that with all things, I believe
Mhm.
that we should allow the sacred process to divinely unfold.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Sam Blue says to clear away all the bad energy through the Divine Mother.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
it's mother's love that you're feeling in the products. It
Mhm.
is, it's mother's love.
Absolutely is. From the roots up. So
Yes.
So, can you tell us a little bit about your book? Give us some insight into it.
Absolutely, I'd be honored to. So, Heal the Roots is a journey that I am going to lovingly guide people through, by embodying the different elements, the seven goddesses. And so it will be, yeah, more introduction into, who they are and how we can integrate the seven goddesses into our lives. And when I speak of the seven goddesses, I'm speaking of earth, fire, water, wind,
right.
organic darkness,
Mhm.
the infinity of the crystals, as well as the womb. And so,
Yeah.
through the embodiment of all of the seven goddesses of Gaia, we are able to then go on this beautiful journey of healing, and healing with the moon cycles. And so every month or every moon cycle, I will
Mhm.
take people through this guided release and healing that they can do within the comfort of their own homes, because
Yes.
we are all our own best healer. Through my journey of healing, this is the process that I went through before I become an aura practitioner. So the goddesses had been guiding me and teaching me, and allowing me to remember who I am in this process of awakening that I have gone through. And so on my own healing journey, I started to really bring in all these elements right into my
Mhm.
life on a daily basis. And what I found is that my healing, I just felt so much better about myself, about life. I felt hopeful. And I think it's important for me to kind of share a little bit of my journey as I'm sharing with you
Yeah.
about the book, if y'all don't mind.
Yeah. Please.
No,
Please do.
but Sam Blue is asking, when is your book going to come out?
Well, I'm allowing it to organically birth in the divine time. So, Sam, I look for it to come out this year, but it feels very much like it'll be around the fall is when it will be ready to fully be birthed.
I love the way you describe the seven goddesses. But go ahead, go finish what you were saying.
And
Beautiful. And so, my journey, my awakening process, really, I feel I've been on this journey my entire life, which we all really
Mhm.
have, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But my life has always been about shadow work. I have
Mhm.
always been the person who've been, the deep one. It's like, can we
Right.
just have an easy answer? And I'm always,
No.
well, no,
Yep.
there's always
Really
another
deep
layer.
philosophy. Yep.
Yeah, and so that's really been like my life story. And then I went on to college and majored in psychology, which really took me on even
Oh
deeper of
yeah.
a journey.
Oh, big time, big time. I was a psychology major, so I get it. I
Oh,
absolutely.
So
you
was I. I
understand.
was a psych major as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
How
Philosophy,
beautiful.
psychology, all of it.
No,
Yep.
mine was psychology and art. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So you ladies totally understand. You
Yeah,
understand.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
It's a
Absolutely.
journey. And so and then I went on and just had a great time, and was starting to really worked to find my own. I could tell that there were deeper levels of healing because, like many people, I was unhappy. I reached burnout, all of the things.
Oh
And
yeah.
so, but I become a mother. And when my son
Mhm.
came in, my son, he was this burst of light that shines on
Mhm.
me, all that I really needed to heal. And so it was becoming a mother that really catapulted my awakening. I think a lot of times we forget how much our children, they've come to help us heal.
Mhm.
And with him, I always tell him, you're the blessing that was for me. And I'm so grateful for you. And so, with that, I then, as my journey progressed, you get into the throes of life, career,
Mhm.
mothering, because I'm an only parent. And so, as an only parent, you are you're all of the weight
Yeah,
falls on you, right?
certainly does.
Jessamy's and a single parent. Yes.
Yep, yep,
Yes. So,
absolutely. And
Jessica,
it gets deep too. It's not, it's not just watching a child. It's very, very deep. So
And Miss
absolutely.
Gina Price, Voluvia sister, she says, being
Olivia.
a mother changes everything. We learn the deepest truths about ourselves for sure. As we teach,
Absolutely.
we learn. That's absolutely true.
And
My children have taught me so much.
absolutely. And
And they still
children.
and they still continue to teach me. My
Oh,
grandchildren
absolutely.
as well.
Absolutely. And the best lesson that kids bring to you is the lesson of unconditional love.
Yes.
The pure love that a child has for their parent is phenomenal.
It is. And, that was one of those things with my son. And when I first felt him, I didn't know it was a him at the time. But
Mhm.
once I first, felt him and feeling that unconditional love that you spoke
Mhm.
of, I knew, okay, you can no longer push this to the side. You
Right.
can no longer, all of your hurts, all of your pains, you can no longer act as though they're not there. You
Right.
have to now face this. And then upon birthing him, when I looked into his eyes, I just remembered saying, I will be the best version of myself for you.
Yeah.
And sometimes for us as
Well,
women,
yeah,
we
chill bumps.
don't always. You felt that, Jessime?
Yeah, I felt it. Oh, like yeah, all over. A full body angel bumps right there. My
Yeah.
goodness, yes.
And Sam Blue sent you a friend request.
Oh, thank you, Sam. I will be sure and accept whenever I'm done. But yes, that's what occurred for me. Is I looked him in his eyes and I said, I will do this,
Hmm.
and I'm a woman of my word. And so when I gave my son, now mind you, he's just a couple minutes old, right? So, but
They
I
still
just looked.
know.
Yeah, he still knows. I looked
Hmm.
in his eyes and I just knew. It was just he activated within me, that
Hmm.
knowing that I've got this and I can do this.
Yeah.
And that is what the journey has been for me. It has been full of valleys as much as peaks.
Yeah.
And what I have always done is strive to maintain balance and harmony
Hmm.
within, and
Yep.
peace is very important to me.
Exactly. Exactly. Because it's not all, good, beautiful times. You have to be able to honor that shadow,
Yeah.
that the darkness in everybody. That's just a part of the human psyche. Can you tell us a little bit about working with like shadow work and everything that and how that all ties in with everything?
Absolutely, because as my journey continued to unfold, I it was through doing full moon releases, working with the dark moon, and releasing. That was how I started to do my shadow work. It was through gardening, and I mentioned the seven goddesses earlier.
Mhm.
In my journey when I became a homeowner, I said, I just had this inkling. I'm gonna landscape my own yard, and so I went to the store, bought all of these beautiful plants, came home, and I said, okay, all right, God, what are we gonna do with this? I don't know where it's gonna go, but I trust that you'll guide me. What I didn't know at the time was happening is I was reconnecting with the earth
Mm-hmm.
goddess, right?
Yep.
And in reconnecting with her and remembering her through gardening, I started to learn and remember all this beautiful sacred wisdom, that is within me.
Yeah.
And it become like me gardening was what I started to look forward to after a hard day's work. I
Yep.
wanted to get into the earth. I wanted to feel my hands bare. I'm not a gardener with gloves. I like my hands in the dirt.
Yep. Yep.
And
Feel it under your nails, all of it. Yeah.
girl,
Yep.
all of it. I
Yeah.
want the sun beaming on me. I want to be
Exactly.
sweating.
Yeah. I love bare feet in mud and grass and things like that. That's the best feeling ever.
It is. And
Mhm.
I started to notice that my psyche, my nervous system, I started to calm down because I used to be someone who was so overly booked and busy. My nervous system was
Right.
overworked,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
That's overstimulation.
And yeah, and you thrive on stress, at least at that
Mm-hmm.
time. I mean, looking at it now, it's like, girl, what were you doing? But that was life,
Mm-hmm.
that was life. And so, but as my nervous system started to calm down and I was able to, reconnect and start to hear, like really hear
Mm-hmm.
my higher self. At the time, I didn't say it was my higher self, but I knew I was reconnecting with the wisdom of my soul.
Right.
And so then, before you know it, it was then the crystals, and then, I'm connecting with the moon, and I'm
Mhm.
doing full moon releases.
Yeah.
And I every cycle, I love astrology so much because
Mm-hmm.
as we go through all of the 12, you know um astrology signs, there's so much wisdom that we are gaining, as well as much of our shadow that we can release, those
Oh,
inversions, you know
absolutely.
and
Yeah.
so I fell in love. I started to fall back in love with me,
Mm-hmm.
you know
Yep.
every moon cycle.
And
Mm-hmm.
Miss Gina Price has some more profound knowledge for us. We have to go through the darkest parts of ourselves. For me,
Mm-hmm.
it was acknowledging these darkest moments and experiences and learning to forgive and heal all of it. Every time a memory pops up, it's something I go into and find out what is next to work on. Whew, Gina
Yes.
gave me
Yeah,
goosebumps.
Yes. 100%.
that's
100%.
beautiful, Gina. It's so
Yep.
beautiful, Gina, because a lot of times we struggle with forgiveness. You know, it's
Yep.
Mhm.
when doing shadow work, and that was something that I had to. Yes, Sam, grounding. It is the
Uh-huh.
best feeling.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But on my journey, I had to really get to those moments of true forgiveness of myself, you
Yes.
know, and
Absolutely.
forgiving all the decisions that I made. But
Mm-hmm.
before I could get to forgiveness, I had to acknowledge the fact that it was me who made those decisions. I couldn't push it off to somebody else and say,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, I'm an only parent because he da 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 da," for example, right?
Right.
Um, I had to acknowledge and own, I chose this partner,
Mm-hmm.
and in that choice, all that has unfolded, you know,
Hmm.
through that experience,
Mm-hmm.
I
We
have
create our
just as much of
reality.
a part, huh?
We create our own
We
realities.
do.
Yeah.
We do the good and the bad. And people
Yes.
don't like to hear that part. They, when
But
they
I
think,
mean,
yeah,
everything that's
it's
happening to
true.
us right now, we created it and we asked for
Exactly.
it. And it's part of the life lesson. And Gina says, yes, as a mother, it's like we push ourselves for others, and that's where we have a disconnect. The remembering while coming out of that is so empowering.
Yeah.
It is. And
Mhm.
the one thing that I want to say about the conversation is that you mentioned forgiveness. And for me, I could forgive everybody, and it
Mhm.
was so hard to forgive myself.
Yeah, that's where I had the problem. Yeah. And I didn't realize how much I didn't love myself until I started working on things a lot like you did. And even it was about 6 months ago, and I was like, I didn't realize that I was living without love, and that had to come from within me at first. And I'm like, I don't even know how to do that. So yeah, that's everything that you're doing. It's just absolutely wonderful. It's beautiful. And it has to get out there. We've got to get that out there more, because people are getting away from that so much more, and they don't even realize it. It's a part of that programming.
Yeah, and it's the guilt,
Yep.
honestly,
Mhm.
it's the guilt and the shame,
Yep.
that comes along with it. And especially with our children, the amount of guilt and shame oftentimes that a mother will have,
Yep.
especially when your child comes to you for the first time and asks, "Where's dad?" Or
100%.
why does my family look differently than others,
Right.
and
Mhm.
so those are moments where we can take that opportunity, to mother ourselves, right?
Hmm.
Because we need that as well as we're mothering our child.
Oh
But
yeah.
it's a great opportunity to heal. And that's something that my son did is, I knew that everything that has happened is a lesson for me. And
Hmm.
so I said, okay, LaToya, what is it that you haven't learned? This is coming back around for a reason. What haven't you learned? What do you still need to see? And oftentimes that's the part that we struggle with, is because we may not want to see what it is that we are to see. you
Exactly.
know we may not want to learn that because of
Hmm.
the guilt and the shame. So I, very early on, I removed the shame and the guilt of our family dynamic looking the way that it does.
Right.
And I did not allow my son to feel as though he was any less than any other child
Hmm.
because he was coming from a household with only one parent. I
Right.
focused so intently on ensuring that his emotional health was right, that in return what I received was my emotional health,
Yeah.
getting better and better. And so the more that I was empowering him, I didn't realize it at the time, but I was empowering me as well.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
true. And those lessons, they'll keep coming around until you get it.
Hmm.
You
Oh yeah.
Whether you want to learn it or not, if you don't learn it, it
Yeah.
will come back around.
Yeah. And the hard way sometimes too. Like it
Yeah.
always seems like I have to learn the hard way because I'm not paying attention. Well, now I am, but yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right though. Empowering him empowers you. It's um and it also kind of feeds back to being that vessel, because one of the first things they teach you in Reiki, even like basic Reiki, is healing will heal the healer.
Yes.
And so giving out the good energy, that love and everything, brings it right back to you. That's what the universe sees, so that's what the universe gets or gives. So
Yep.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
Gina says, yes, I agree. Once we remove all of those feelings we titled ourselves with, then we have to figure out how to allow ourselves to be loved and let that love in again.
Right.
That's so true. Yes,
Yep.
absolutely. Because
Right.
we titled all of those things and we put them in a box, and
Yep.
Yep. We
Yep.
categorized them and everything. We did
And
it.
then locked it away in a closet somewhere, you know.
Yep.
Yep.
And I was the
Exactly.
queen. I was the queen of categorizing, Raven.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I had categorizing down to a science.
Oh, same. Same. Yep. I'm with you.
I thought I was organizing, but
Yeah. No,
apparently that's
I
not it.
compartmentalize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And there's a difference between, you can compartmentalize things and keep it in an organizer. I actually just told my therapist this 2 days ago, believe it or not. So it's funny how it comes back up, like you were just saying, Raven. But you can compartmentalize things and keep them in little organizers, like you do a desk drawer that you use all the time, but you got to set aside. And then there's the type of compartmentalizing that you lock up and then you lock in a safe and then you put that safe somewhere in a closet or a basement. Like there's two different kinds. You have to be able to continue working with what you compartmentalize because it will not go away, it will fester.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's the thing is that a lot of times when I speak of compartmentalize, I mean, yes, I am an organizer and a planner, but I compartmentalized my feelings.
Yeah.
And so I knew I'm a former cheerleader. I cheered all throughout school. I cheered collegiately. So I'm used to putting on a show, right?
Oh,
Because when you're a cheerleader, the game came, whether I was happy or not. I had to perform.
right. You had to be
I couldn't go out and be all sad and have, a frown on my face. That was unacceptable. I had to perform whether I was sick, whether I was hurt, I had to still. So you learn through time how to compartmentalize, right?
Right.
And a lot of people do it. You go to work and you put on this smile like everything is good.
Yeah.
When really everything is not good. And
Right.
I went through a period. I'm sorry, go on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say, I feel like we don't want to feel that pain. So we do whatever it is to get rid of that pain, whether we shove it down or we do something else in its place. But we never, we want to as humans, we want to get rid of that pain. We don't want to
Yep.
feel it. But
Yep,
you have
absolutely.
to feel it. You have to go through those emotions.
But you have to keep from getting stuck in a cycle with those negative emotions.
Yes.
Yeah. Gina
Gina
says mode. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and a
One
lot
of
of
the
people
day,
are
my goodness.
and a lot of people are in that survival mode. And I know, I went through that period myself of just, when I'm mommy, I'm good. When I'm with my clients, I'm good. But then at night, I went through a period where I'm in the tub and I am just crying. Or I am in the bed and I'm crying myself to sleep.
Oh.
And then there came a moment, because you're asking me about my shadow work journey. So I'm being very raw with the journey. And so I went through that because I needed to purge all of that. I needed that to come up, right? And as it was coming up and I was releasing, all of these feelings, all of these inversions, because my shadow work journey has taught me that a lot of what we are all battling and we're dealing with and we're releasing and transmuting and healing, it's lifetimes. You know what I mean? Of trauma. It wasn't just this life. It was like, LaToya, that was a bad decision, but that bad decision that you just made this one time is not what's causing the breakdown that a lot of people are having. Right?
Yeah.
It's the past, it's past life trauma and the cycle that we're in. And so there came a moment where I told one of my friends, I said, look, I recognize where I have been dishonoring myself. And I am now going to make the choice to honor myself. And with that, I started making a lot of changes. And again, all of this started to come about because I am working with, at the time, I'm not understanding this, the 7 goddesses. right, that are
Right.
with me. But I am, because I'm connecting with organic darkness, I'm connecting with earth, I'm connecting with water, I'm connecting with the winds, right? The
Mm-hmm.
crystals. I'm connecting with all of the all seven of the goddesses and all that I am. And with that, I then started to see, oh, I can forgive myself grace.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I need to be more compassionate to myself. I need to honor myself. I made this choice, but just because I made this choice, I don't have to stay stuck in this choice. I
Right.
get to choose. I get to choose what my experience of this is going to be, and I get to
Right.
choose how I heal through this.
I love
You
that.
know,
I love that. Give yourself grace. That's a big one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You
Because we
have
don't,
to.
yeah.
How did you recognize what was say, a past life issue as opposed to this life issue? Because a lot of our viewers are not real familiar with past lives and the different things that could be brought up within past lives as far as issues in this life.
Okay, I'll share with you the moment that I realized it. Um,
Awesome.
I will go back to that very moment. It is prior to me becoming a practitioner. So at the time, I
Ooh.
was not an aura practitioner. Okay. 2021, we all know it was
Mm-hmm.
a dynamic year, right?
Right. In
Yes.
the thick of it.
Very much. And I have a dream. And in the dream, I see my son, myself, and my son's father. And in the dream, without going into too much detail, um, history was repeating itself. However, in the dream, we were in a whole nother life. Like this was none of the details of this dream was this current life. And so I woke up and I had this thought because I've always been very in touch with my intuition.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this thought. I said, okay, we've lived this before. This isn't the first time, because
Right.
I knew my dream was real. What I experienced in my dream mirrored what I was experiencing now. And so I knew, okay, my dreams are real because I've always believed in my dreams.
Mm-hmm.
So my dreams are real. Therefore, we had to have had this experience before.
Right.
That was how I connected that it had to be a past life, because the details of it, even the clothing I was wearing, I,
Right.
it was a completely different life. The way that I looked, the way everyone looked, it was a completely different life.
That is so wild. I always love hearing those stories about past lives, but and we do reconnect with the people that we are with each life. We always come back to each other. So that is really neat that you were able to see that and recognize it even before you started these studies. That is
Yeah,
absolutely cool. That is so cool. I love it. I love it.
thank you.
And
Wow.
Gina Price says, wow, yes, LaToya, we pull everything up and out from our lifetimes of existence to heal. We heal ourselves by acknowledging those patterns, and it's a ripple through time.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I just had that thought come down through me. I just downloaded um the apology without change is manipulation. So and I'm getting this is not me. This is messages, but like if you don't if you want to forgive yourself, you have to apologize yourself, but then you have to change your behavior to show your higher self that you are willing to actually change and fix everything from the past. So that was sorry. That was my little channel there for a second.
That's okay.
My psychic medium thing.
Oh,
So but
No, I totally understand. I mean, and I'll tell you, and I had been on this path of forgiveness for quite some time.
Mhm.
I started to in 2019, I had a very revelatory moment where I got upset with someone for something. Now looking back on it, it was so small, but I
Mhm.
was mad, y'all. I was fired
Yeah.
up.
Big
Okay.
man. Yep.
When I tell you big mad, I was mad. But it was a moment. It was a moment. I said, okay, I'm so mad at this 2 weeks later. The
Mhm.
fact that I am this mad. Now, mind you, I'm in my garden, right? So I'm in my garden, I'm gardening, and this is coming up. So a lot of my shadow work I tend to do again. I'm in
Mhm.
the elements, you know?
Right.
And
Right.
so, and I'm like, okay, I'm mad. Why am I still mad at this? I don't want to be mad at this, you know?
Right.
And it started me to really look deeper. I had to go even deeper as to why are certain things triggers for me,
Mhm.
you know? And then I had a moment where, I felt Yeshua, and I just, had this
Mhm.
real intimate moment with Yeshua.
Right.
And it was in that moment where it was like, okay, you're ready now. Now it's time. Sometimes we, on our awakening journey,
Mhm.
if we're not ready, really ready, then certain things won't come to us, right?
Right.
Because we're out of vibrational alignment with it,
Right.
you know? And
Mhm.
so as I was going through this process of learning, and reconnecting, and I called on Yeshua. And at the time I called Yeshua Jesus, and I said,
Mhm.
Jesus, I need, like, I need you to talk directly to me. I,
Mhm.
I need I need your guidance. I need your love. And when I felt, that, and I felt his love just flood my vessel,
Mhm.
and I could hear him say, I'm here, you know? And then from that moment, I began to have an even deeper and more intimate relationship with Yeshua as my teacher.
Yep.
And it just from
Exactly.
then on, opening up ourselves, it's not until we're really ready,
Mhm.
do we have those kinds of encounters and those kinds of moments. Now, they're always here with us.
Yeah.
Yeshua's always been here, but
Oh
it
yeah.
was me. I had to awaken to that once more.
Mhm.
And in doing that, again, just I can give you story after story of just, you know, times where I was at that moment, like I'm at a fork in the road. Which way am I going to choose? You know?
Mhm.
Which way
Yep.
am I going to choose? And that's what life is.
Yeah.
It's a series of choices. And I just said, okay, I want divine guidance, you know, guide me
Mhm.
divinely as to where I am meant to go.
Now, I know that you say, not to interrupt you, but I know that you say that, they're always here with us. And I know that you're right about that. But they're
Mhm.
not going to do anything until we ask them to.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And once we
Amen.
asked them, and that was the key, you had asked Joshua, I need to
Yeah.
speak with you.
Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And when you ask them, that's when they come through for you.
Yep.
That's all. I'm sorry. Didn't mean
No,
to
I'm
interrupt.
glad. I'm so glad that you said that, because a lot of people are, they are disconnected from what
Oh
you just
yeah.
said, that you have
Absolutely.
to ask, because benevolence will never interfere.
Right.
And
Exactly.
so all of those decisions, all of my life that I've made that I might not have
Mhm.
liked, um, again, the divine guidance was always there. I
Mhm.
could have always asked, but
Mhm.
some things I didn't, some things
Yep.
I did. But then also understanding that everything that has occurred has happened for divine purpose, for
Exactly.
divine reason. And so,
Absolutely.
yeah,
100%. Those lessons, as hard as they are so important to your core being and to how you can help others. Yes.
yeah. And
Yes.
then, and I'm
Absolutely.
grateful for them. And that's how we start to access the frequency of grace, is
Yeah.
when we can achieve that gratitude for every experience, when we are, when we can and say it and truly mean it and truly know
Hmm.
it, you
Yep.
know, and embody
Thank you,
that. I am
Sam.
so grateful for
Hmm.
every experience, every
Yep.
experience.
Exactly.
Yes.
No regrets. Yep.
Thank you, Miss Sam, Sister
Hmm.
Sam.
Yep. Sam said, "I felt that, Raven. You're so right." Exactly. Yeah, we are very, very in tune. And Miss Gina, love that, Raven. We do have to ask and use discernment on the answers. Absolutely. And
Absolutely.
and we have to listen to those too. I had a little talk with my guides this morning. They were we were kind of just chitter chatting back and forth, and I'm like, and I finally said, you know what, we're gonna do what you need to. And all I heard, it was like in unison. There were multiple voices. Well, it's about time. And I was like, all right, okay, I see it. All right, they're laughing. It's humor today. I get it. And and everything's been fine. But you have to learn to listen to that as well. You can't just ask and then not do anything when they give you the tools. So yeah, learn to listen, learn to use it. That's everything. Big time.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. And I feel like once we learn those lessons, then that puts us in a position to help somebody else.
Exactly. And that's what
Because
we're here for.
some of the things that have happened on my path have put me in a
Mhm.
position to help somebody else come along that is going through those same things. And we need to look around us. It's not all about us, it's about
Mhm.
the collective. We are one.
Yeah,
We are a
exactly.
whole unit, and we need to help each other heal. And
Mhm.
as we go through these things, we can help each other.
Well, Raven, to your point there, that's what happened with me and being an only parent.
Mhm.
Is, as especially whenever my child was younger,
Mhm.
I would have so many, women who are only parents, maybe for the first time, or that they were going through divorce, or, maybe they were like myself and was an only parent from the beginning. And
Mhm.
I would have many of them come to me and ask, for advice, ask for,
Mhm.
guidance, because they would say, "We've watched how you are with your son. We
Right.
see how he's thriving. We see
Exactly.
how he has the confidence, you
Mhm.
know, and which is very important." And so with children, you want them
Mhm.
to be confident in who they are.
Yes.
And so I have parents and women that would come and ask for advice. And I started, through them reaching out, it helped me to feel better
Mhm.
about what I had been experiencing, because I knew it
Right.
wasn't in vain, right?
Exactly.
I knew
Exactly.
that others could be aided by it, and
Mhm.
that just delighted my heart to,
Yeah.
that I could be that for someone else.
Yeah, and that honors you and your past and your future journey too. You give yourself that honor and that
Mhm.
grace to be able to carry that forward too.
Absolutely.
And Miss Gina Price says, laugh out loud, Jessamy. I ask everything down to what to wear on the highest for the highest timelines.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
absolutely correct, Miss Gina.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes, I
Absolutely.
did that. I did that
Yeah.
today, and they were like, I kept feeling pink.
Mhm.
And you
Yep.
look very
Oh,
good in pink.
yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
Nice
It's a
and
you.
good
bright.
color for you.
Big.
I love it. You look beautiful.
Thank you. Thank
Oh,
you.
that's so awesome.
Yeah. Thank you. So yeah, it's amazing, Raven, what you were saying about it's not all about us.
No.
It's
No,
not.
it's
And
not.
you know when we remember that, that we can then, it makes it a little easier, because it's like if somebody else can be helped,
Hmm.
if
Mhm.
somebody
Yeah.
else,
Yep.
then I don't feel, you just don't feel that it was all in vain.
Right.
And, that for me has been, for everything. I've
Yeah.
always worked in service to others. That's what I've done,
Mhm.
my entire career, even before becoming a practitioner.
Hmm.
And so it's always been my heart's desire to be able to leave people better than what I found them,
Right.
better than
Right.
they were before they come. And I really love embodying myself and sharing authentically,
Hmm.
genuinely, really connecting with people. It's very important to me.
Yeah.
That's
And
so cool.
and even when you can't get out and do things, there's a lot of people out there that, they can't really get out and do service or things like that. Their lives are very, very hectic, crazy. But learn to inspire. Inspiration, words of inspiration, moments of inspiration can change people's lives for the rest of their lives.
You
And
you don't really know what impression you leave on other people. You
exactly.
really, I mean, even if you're not trying to, like
Hmm.
Joy says, you're inspiring them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just don't know the impressions that you leave. And Gina says, beautiful, LaToya. Thank you
Hmm.
for teaching others through the hardest lessons. It is
My honor.
beautiful.
It is my honor. It is my honor. It's important to me, and I guess it was. I didn't think when I come to the conversation that we would talk about, or that I would even share my journey about being an only parent, but it feels very
It's
important
yeah.
that we are having this conversation, because so many women who are only parents,
Hmm.
they feel guilty, and they feel shame, and they feel victimhood in all of those ways. And, one thing that was very important for me when I knew that I would be an only parent is I said, I won't allow myself to be a victim, which is why I don't call myself a single parent. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
There's a certain feeling with that. And so I just won't allow myself to be a victim to it. I
Right.
won't, even my son, no, you will not. Like
Mhm.
we're not gonna, we won't ever hold our heads down,
Mm-mm.
and
Nope.
it's important for me that out of everything that I've said today, that, and especially with talking about, being an only parent, that,
Hmm.
we all can leave with the feeling of gratitude, and of joy,
Mhm.
Hmm.
and of love, and empowerment, and courage and confidence. Because when I knew that I would be an only parent, those were things that were very important to me, that I embody in
Yeah.
my parenting, and in the way in which I view myself.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
And I like the
Absolutely.
way that you put it, that
Hmm.
you're not a single parent. You're an
Yeah.
only parent.
You're
I
an only
really
parent.
like the way you put that. We've, on other shows, we've had different words, that come up, and I really like that phrase, and I think I'm going to
I do
use that
too.
from now on.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Or even like the sole parent or something. But yeah, the single parent just, yeah, you're right. I never realized that had kind of like that undertone or something. So
Hmm.
see, you've inspired a change. I like that a
And
lot.
and once we have to get out of that, we have to get out of the victim mindset, because
Yeah.
we are not thing we are things are happening in our lives.
Yeah.
They are not happening to us. They are happening
Exactly.
in our lives.
Exactly.
And
And
we are
since
not victims. These are
exactly.
things that are supposed to be in our lives to help us learn what we need to learn to be able to ascend, to connect to
Right.
source.
Right.
Positive.
We survived, and now we have to thrive, survive, and then thrive. So,
Exactly.
it's one of those things that, I've always said that line from, that one movie, I think it was The Hangover. I always quote, "But did you die? No? Okay, let's go." And so I even tell myself that a lot of times, because I get stuck in that loop of, man, this hurt, and I want to be bitter about it. And then I'm like, did you die? No? Let's go. Let's go. We got stuff to do. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. We're not going that way. We're going forward.
Well, that which doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yes,
Very
it
much
does.
so, as hard as it can be. But
Yep.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And
And
Sam Blue, I'm
I'm
sorry, Sam Blue says it was definitely inspiring and positive experience to listen to you guys today. Thank you. We
Thank
love
you.
you, Sam. Thank you for joining and listening to
Yes.
us.
Wonderful.
Yes,
Wonderful.
thank you. And
LaToya. Oh,
and that's where sometimes I just wanted to add one thing before you mentioned. I'm sorry, just me,
no, you're
but
fine.
You
thank
go right
you.
ahead.
I
Interrupt just me all you want.
Hey, it's your night. It's your night. I'm just here.
I think it's important also that we are aware of those that are close to us,
Yes.
because you can have people around who can feed you positivity and encouragement. And then you can have
Mm-hmm.
those around you that will also, feed you the doubt,
Right.
and so
Or drain
um,
you too.
it's extremely important.
Mhm.
In my journey, especially early on, when I would have those, really tough moments,
Mhm.
I have a friend who was always like, "Girl, do you see how your son is thriving? Do you see how you're thriving? Do you recognize?" Because I was in go, go, go mode for so
Right.
long
Yeah.
that I had not even stopped to realize just how much I had done, how
Mhm.
much I had accomplished, how
Exactly.
much he and I were, like the life that I had built for us and
Mhm.
created and birthed into our reality. I was so much in the go, go, go mode that I didn't even see it. And so it's important to have somebody around you that means
Mhm.
infinite love for you, because that person that means infinite love for you, that is in your circle, when you are in those moments, that's the person that's going to remind you of who you are. When I couldn't see me, and I send her waves of love now, because when I couldn't see me, she reminded me of who I was because she saw me.
Mhm.
And it's important to have that encouragement from
Right.
someone else as you are going through your journey. And that is where, like with those of us are practitioners and can
Mhm.
hold that space of love, that's what that space of love that we hold for someone is. It
Exactly.
is allowing them to be able to see themselves in the way that they can't see themselves at that moment, because all they see is the goo and the muck and the mud
Right.
and the everything that is, clouding their light. And so again, I had that person that
Mm.
reminded me of that. And then others, my mother, who was like, of course, as a mama, she was like, "I didn't raise you to be this way." She was like, you can do this. You can
Mhm.
get yourself together. And so
Right.
having that strong village around that was
Exactly.
encouraging me, I think it's important that all of us take an inventory of who do
Mhm.
you have around you. Are they pouring life into you? Are they speaking life to you? Are they being, this pillar of love for you? Or are they feeding you doubt? And are you, when you're around them, do you feel contracted? I started to pay attention to that. It was
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm around so and so. I don't like how this
Exactly.
feels. Yeah, so and so,
Mhm.
thank you, but
Yeah. Your tribe
blessings on
attracts
your
your
way.
vibe, or your vibe attracts your tribe. Yep.
Yeah.
It totally
So,
does.
absolutely.
And that's something to remember, because as we grow, a
Mhm.
lot of times we vibrate those people out.
Yep.
They just gotta
Yep.
go.
And that's all
Well,
right.
you
That's
have
all
to
right.
watch your vibrations. With everything you do, you
Absolutely.
have to watch how you're vibrating. Your
Absolutely.
connection. Absolutely.
Hmm. Yep. Because what you put out there comes back to you, whether you're aware of it or not.
Yep.
So,
Everything you put out's got a boomerang on it.
yep. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Right
And
back on you.
so I you all had started this by asking me about, the book.
Hmm.
And this journey of our conversation has been, um, a lot of what I am seeking to inspire others and guide them through within the book, is
Good.
because, as I've mentioned, the seven goddesses and how I've personally connected with them over the years. A lot of us, we're connected to them. We know,
Hmm.
we don't maybe recognize it in that way, right?
Right.
But it's important that we can reconnect with the elements all around us, as well as within us, and have that aid, for ourselves, and that guidance that is within us, to
Mhm.
assist us on this beautiful, beautiful journey
Yeah.
of
Oh,
life.
you're so right. It's been so awesome having you here, and I certainly cannot wait for the book to come out.
Yep. What
And
platform will it be on when it does come out?
When it comes out, I'll be selling it on my website. It will
Okay.
be a it'll be a hardcover book,
Okay.
because I'm tangible. I like, tangible things, and
Yep.
I still believe in the power of writing things down. And so, yeah,
Absolutely.
it'll be a beautiful book that can be purchased on my website, and then I'll look into some other platforms. We'll see what my heart aligns with at that time, but for sure,
Right.
you can find it at Sophia's Garden dot online. And I'll be sure to keep you all posted, and would love to come back if you all would like to maybe have a
Wonderful.
conversation
oh,
about
We'd
the
love
absolutely.
to.
book.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would
Please.
I would
Please do.
love to do that. Yeah, I would love to do
That would
that.
be
And
wonderful.
I saw you had a question up there. Did you want me to answer that question?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What message would you like to leave our audience with?
Oh, the message of my heart is to remember the love that you are.
Mm,
Remember the love that is within you. Remember the love that is all around you. And to remember that you are empowered to be your own creator, because you are your own creator being.
yeah. Yeah.
It is very important to me that everyone who listens to this, that you feel inspired to go deeper within yourself and heal those wounds, heal all of the roots of you. You are a tree of life, and it is time that all of those roots that are not, thriving, that are actually dying, it is time that we
Mhm.
heal those roots. It's
Yep.
time we heal them. It's time.
Absolutely.
And
I
so,
got all the angel bumps again.
Yeah.
My goodness.
yeah.
Well, we have certainly enjoyed. It's been such a blessing for you to come on the show, and we absolutely do want you on again.
That
It's
would be
it's so,
wonderful.
you're so inspiring, and I can feel the love
Yeah.
just
Absolutely.
emanating. It's so
Absolutely.
beautiful.
Well, thank you. It's my honor to be here with you all. It is
And
my
Gina
Thank
honor.
you.
says, "Thank you to all of your insights and inspiration, beauties." Aw, Gina, you're
My
so
honor.
sweet.
So sweet. Yep.
Thank you, Gina.
Well, thank you for being on here, LaToya. It's been absolutely wonderful, and to our viewers, it was wonderful. They were, everybody was commenting and active. We love that. We love it when you guys interact with us and ask questions, and that was wonderful. Love it. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Absolutely. And don't forget to like and share and subscribe.
Exactly.
And we'd like to thank you all. Thank LaToya for
Thank
being
you.
here tonight.
Yep. Yep.
It
We
is
love you
my
all.
We hope you have enjoyed watching Soulfire Ascension with Raven and Jessamy. Please do like, share, and subscribe. You can also listen to Soulfire Ascension on Spotify podcasts. Soulfire Ascension is sponsored by ravenshealingarts.com.